In today's video, gents, a brutally honest review of Pete and Pedro's Rebel and how it compares to Creed Aventus. Is it a clone or is it something else? So how does Rebel describe itself? Sexy, spicy, seductive. Rebel is more than a scent. It's a statement. Be bold, be confident, be you. Sounds good. But how does it smell? And how does it compare to Creed Aventus? I'm very familiar with the opening notes here because I've worn this fragrance about a dozen times over the last couple months. A tart bergamot. That is what dominates the opening note here. There is a little bit of pineapple, and I can't pick it up. If you're familiar with Creed Aventus, that has a bit of a smoky smell. This one, I don't pick that up. I really don't pick up that smoky smell, but a strong bergamot, a tart bergamot, I have to admit, I absolutely love it. Now, at about 20 to 30 minutes in, the bergamot starts to back off, and that's when we start to pick up the nutmeg, the sage. So right there, this becomes, I would say, aromatic fragrance. Basically, we've got a little bit of spice in there, but very quickly we get down to the dry down. And what's in the dry down? We've got moss, we've got a bit of woody amber, we have patchouli. So the patchouli I don't pick up that much, but definitely I start to pick up the animal, a little bit of the musk. It's not an overpowering musk. Thank goodness, I'm not a huge fan of really strong musks. The moss, we've got a little bit of a green there, and that's where this fragrance is going to stay the majority of its life. Again, you had a good opening, very strong bergamot, but it gets to the dry down really within probably 45 minutes to an hour, and then it's going to stay there for about 3 to 4 hours after that. Now, about 4 to 6 hours in, this fragrance does start to become a skin scent, meaning it's not really projecting too much anymore. It's sitting close to the body. I actually like that. I don't want to overpower people, and I do like to spray a bit more on. All right, Jen, so really quick, I want to share with you the behind-the-scenes story on today's video. So over a year ago, Aaron told me he was developing this fragrance for Pete and Pedro based off of his favorite fragrance, Creed Aventus. Fast forward to the beginning of this year. Rebel is out. He gets me some samples. I try this. I ended up loving this fragrance so much, I wore it the entire week. I was in Atlanta at my Menfluential event, and I told Aaron, hey, I need to do a review. This stuff is amazing. Now, Aaron being the good friend, he said, great, but I'm going to pay you for the review. I told Aaron, I'm like, you can't pay me for the review. If you pay me for the review, no one's going to believe it's objective. Aaron then countered that, hey, everyone knows we're friends. No one's going to believe you're objective, so you might as well take the money anyway. So in the end, what we agreed on is that I would take enough money to cover my base expenses. And then the rest of that money, guess what, guys? I am throwing into making sure that you guys get an amazing deal. Seriously, not only are you going to be able to save money on an amazing fragrance, but you're also going to be able to grab the new Pete and Pedro Travel Atomizer. So if you haven't seen one of these travel atomizers before, you're in for a treat. What I love about this is it allows you to take enough of your fragrance that you've got it for a couple days in a simple container that is easy to fill. It's a really cool travel tool that enables you to take your favorite fragrance anywhere. Make sure to click on the link down in the description of today's video. It's a very special deal. It's not going to be around forever. This is a limited time offer, and I want to make sure that you guys can try out Rebel, an amazing fragrance I'm proud to support. And with that being said, gents, let's get back to the review. How does Rebel compare to Creed Aventus? And in case you've been living under a rock, Creed Aventus is considered to be the king of men's fragrances. Men wear this and they get compliments from women, from other men. They wear it and they just love it. Men who aren't into fragrances smell this and they absolutely love it. So I'm not going to lie, Creed Aventus has an amazing opening. Yes, we've got the tart bergamot, but we've also got more pineapple than we saw in Rebel. Also, you start to pick up that smoky smell that Creed is famous for. How they mix the smoke with the fruit is, their secret, but they managed to do it, and that opening is second to none. Now, as the bergamot starts to dry down, we continue to pick up the pineapple, the smoke, the birch, and then we start to get into the base, the dry down. Now, it's when we get to the dry down that I notice a distinctive difference between Creed and Rebel. The dry down here is going to be stronger and have a much more animalistic type of musk. That ambergris is stronger here. Maybe it's that mix of vanilla, which I didn't pick up over in Rebel. The oak moss, I get that, and I felt that those are similar with the dry down. But yes, this one right here, a bit more animalistic. I would say even a little bit more polarizing than Rebel. And yes, I'm familiar with what are considered to be some of the best Creed Aventus clones out there on the market. Some of them, note for note, considered to be pretty much the same thing. Other ones considered to actually maybe be even an improvement upon Creed Aventus. So where does Rebel fit? Is it a great Creed Aventus clone or is it a bad one? My opinion, gents, is it is not a Creed Aventus clone. It is a fragrance unto itself. Yes, it is similar to Creed Aventus. And I would say if you like Creed Aventus, you are going to love Rebel at a much cheaper price. But here's the thing, is that there's enough differences. These guys did not try to clone Creed Aventus exactly. Instead, they took a little bit of inspiration, which they said they did, but they went in a different direction on the dry down especially. Now, all that being said, this fragrance is not without its faults. One of the things I heard a number of people say is it's not strong enough. Now, to be fair, there's such a thing as olfactory fatigue, and a lot of people, they think that they can't smell the fragrance, but other people can still pick it up on them. But I brought this up with Aaron. I'm asking, hey, are you guys going to make this stronger? How are you going to deal with the complaint that this isn't strong enough? And sure enough, they came out with a new formulation that's stronger than the original. So if you've bought this in the past, if you've seen reviews of people saying, you know what, it's not strong enough, you want to try their new stuff, because they have improved the strength of the formula. The next issue, let's talk about price. 50 mil for $49. I know some of you guys are going to say, Antonio, that's way too much. Well, guess what? I've got you covered down in the description of today's video. Use that link to get the best deal you're going to find out there on Pete and Pedro's Rebel. My final verdict, if you like Creed Aventus, you are going to love Rebel by Pete and Pedro. Very similar fragrances, but different enough that I know what I'm wearing. There is no, confusion between the two, but this one right here, I just absolutely love. I love the bergamot, that tart opening, and the dry down. It's got a little bit of musk, it's got that wood, it's got that moss, but it's not going to be overpowering. It's not too animalistic. It's a very safe, everyday fragrance. So what video to watch next? How about the sexiest fragrances a man can wear that women absolutely love? Check out the list, guys, in this video right here.